Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there, pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, and to all you believers out there who believing on the gospel. It's the brother Quara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. Want to come at y'all with another lesson, man, and Lord willing to be edifying. And I don't have no precepts or nothing. It's a little impromptu as I was sitting here, going over some scriptures. And what I want to touch on as I was reading is how even our father Abraham, he believed in a resurrection, man. Right? He believed in the resurrection. Now, Abraham himself, wasn't living at the time of Yahushua. Right? But in his time, he also believed in the resurrection of his son Isaac, which was Yahushua, which was Yahushua, man. Right? Now, I think the apostles at their live show a couple weeks ago, or I believe I seen it on one of the apostles, one of the individual videos, or I think it was their camp. But anyway, they were saying how, I forget which one, but they said how Abraham and Isaac was like a foreshadowing of the Most High Yahushua. Just like Abraham, he was like his name is a father of many nations. A father of a multitude. A father of nations, and that's the same thing the Heavenly Father is. He's the father of nations, and those nations are the nations of Israel. Because one tribe could be one nation in itself. It said in Isaiah 60 that in the kingdom one man will be his own nation. But what I want to touch on is that just how the Most High, he had that his only begotten son, his chosen son, and he knew he was going to raise him up. Well, the same thing, Abraham, that's why he was so willing to sacrifice Isaac, just like the Most High was willing to sacrifice Yahushua. Matter of fact, let me see real quick. It's in Romans. Romans 8, it says, I give verse 32, it says, he that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also give us all things freely? You see, so the Most High, he was willing to give his own son and sacrifice his own son, man. Because why? He ultimately knew he was going to raise him back up again. Hey, didn't Yahushua tell the disciples that? I know one for sure in Luke when he said he was going to raise back up. And like I said, man, it's a little impromptu, shouldn't be long, but I'm gonna get to the point real quick that I was reading on. But this is Luke 24 and 44. This is Yahushua speaking. It says, and he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you. And all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me. Then opened he their understanding that they might understand the scriptures, and said unto them, thus it is written, and thus it behooved the anointed to suffer and to rise from the dead the third day. You see? So the Most High, he had it written already in prophecy that the Lord Yahushua was going to rise. That's why Yahushua was able to get on the cross and be sacrificed, man, because he was going to come back. Well, the same thing Abraham believed in with his only begotten son, which was Yahushua. He believed in the resurrection, man. You see, Abraham believed in the resurrection. So if he was in the time of Yahushua, he would have believed in Yahushua rising, man. Didn't Yahushua cut the wicked scribes and Pharisees when they was talking about, when he was like, well, shit, y'all talking about Abraham, your father? Well, Abraham was glad to see my day, so on and so forth, right? Well, look, if Abraham was in Yahushua time, he would have believed on it because he believed on it, the resurrection with Isaac. That's why he was so willing to sacrifice Isaac, because he believed the Most High was going to raise him back up again, man, which was a foreshadowing of how it was going to be, or how it was for the Most High Yahushua, right? But let me get this in Genesis real quick. Genesis 22, dealing with Abraham going to sacrifice Isaac, and then I'm going to get the scripture to prove that he believed in a resurrection, and we can get out of here. That's all I pretty much had. But this is Genesis 22 and 1. It says, and it came to pass after these things that the Most High did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, behold, here I am. And he said, take now thy son, thine only son Isaac. Hold on. Abraham had one son already at this time, which was he had eight sons total. He had 6 with Keturah, and his firstborn was Ishmael, and his secondborn was Isaac. But right here is calling Isaac his only son. But he wasn't the only son, technically, but he's the only son that mattered. This is the son that the promises went to. You see? So when it come down to the promises and the blessings, the other sons don't matter, like it said in Romans. Let me snag that real quick, and I'm going to go back to this in Genesis. But it said that in Romans 9, this is Romans 9. I'm going to get straight to the point. It says, Romans 9:7, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, right? Just because you the blood of Abraham, it says these are not the children of God. Just because you Abraham's son on me, you the child of the Most High. But says, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. That's why only it said Isaac was the only begotten, because he the only one that count. Now going back to Genesis 22:2, it says, and he said, take now thy son, thine only son, Isaac, just like the Most High, call Yahushua his only begotten, right? You know? It says, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him therefore a burnt offering. Right? Just like the Most High, he offered up Yahushua for that sacrifice, man. The ultimate sacrifice for the nation of Israel. What is a prelude of what was going to take place with the Most High Yahushua. Right here we reading with Abraham and Isaac. It says, and offer him upon the mountains which I tell thee of. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took 2 of his young men with him and Isaac his son. Now he didn't ask questions, says, why, Lord? Why, God? I thought you said the promises go come through Isaac. So if I put him to death, how the promises go come? I thought I was going to be a father of nations through Isaac. He didn't ask no questions. And we're going to get the scriptures to show why he was so willing. Because he believed the Most High was going to raise him up again. Raise Isaac up again, man. It says, and clave the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up and went to the place which the Most High had told him. Then on the 3rd day, the 3rd day, Yahushua rose up on the 3rd day. It says, then on the 3rd day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said unto his young men, and I think about it, when Yahushua was going to get crucified, you had 2 men up there, 2 malefactors with him. And you had him. Now right here, it says when they went, let's read it again. It says, and Abraham rose up early in the morning, saddled his ass, and took 2 of his young men with him and Isaac. So you had Isaac and 2 young men. Well, when Yahushua was on the cross, you had Yahushua and 2 men. The same sequence, you know. It says, verse 5, and Abraham said unto his young men, abide you here with the ass, and abide you here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship and come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son. And like the apostle Ramla went into a lesson a while back, going into the similitude of right here, it says, and Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son. Now when Yahushua walked to his crucifixion, what did he carry on his back? Huh? What did he carry on his back, man? He had to carry that wood that he had to be sacrificed on. The same thing right here. Isaac was carrying that wood that was going to be used for his sacrifice. You know, it says, and Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son. And he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they went both of them together. And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father, and said, my father. And he said, here am I, my son. And he said, behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? And Abraham said, my son, the Most High will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they both went together, you know. Now, I'm going to read down, right? And, I'm going to read down. Right, it says, and they came to the place which the Most High had told him of, and Abraham built the altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand, and took the knife to slay his son. And the angel of Yahweh called unto him out of heaven, and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest the Most High, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and beheld behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him for a burnt offering instead of his son Isaac. Right now, why? Because that wasn't the time for Isaac to be offered. You know, because Isaac was who in the reincarnation? Yahushua, man. And Apostle Paul said that himself. Let's get that. And then we'll get how Abraham believed in the Most High was going to raise Isaac up if he would have sacrificed him. That's why he was so willing, man. But let me get this. This is Galatians 3. And I'm going to start at 16. Right? Now, this is Apostle Paul right here telling the church that Isaac was Yahushua, man. Because again, remember we got in Romans that out of all Abraham's sons, the promises went to who? Isaac. But right here, Apostle Paul about to refer to Isaac as Mashiach, right? Or the anointed, which he talking about Yahushua, man. Right? If you read it slowly. But it says, it's known to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith, not to seeds as of many, but as of one. Now we got that early in Romans through the Spirit. Not to seeds as of many were the promises made through Abraham, because it wasn't going to Abraham, then Ishmael, then Isaac, and the 6 sons of Keturah. No, it went to all his seeds, all his children. It says, but to one, and we got there earlier that one was Isaac. But watch what Apostle Paul about to say. Let's read it again. It says, now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith, not to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Mashiach. Which is Mashiach, man. You see? So there's one seed of the promise that came from Abraham, instead of Apostle Paul right here saying that was Isaac, which we know it was Isaac, but right here he called Isaac Mashiach, man. He called him Yahushua. Let's read it again. Galatians 3:16. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith, not to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Mashiach. So right here, he telling you that Isaac was Yahushua, man. You know, right? Isaac was Yahushua. That's why he didn't sacrifice Isaac then, because it wasn't a time for the Lord to be sacrificed. That's the true lamb. Didn't John say, behold, the Lamb of the Most High? Right? But let me get this in Hebrews to show why Abraham was willing to sacrifice Isaac. Ultimately, because he believed in the resurrection, man. He believed the Most High was going to raise him up. Let's get straight to it. This is Hebrews 11:17. It says, by faith, Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac, and he that had received the promises offered up his only begotten son. Right, man? Let me get this real quick in John. Because what the scriptures call Yahushua to the Most High. This is John 1. John 1:14, it says, and the word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, talking about Yahushua, the glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. So just as Isaac was looked at in the eyes of the Most High as the only in the eyes of Abraham and the Most High as the only begotten, the same thing Yahushua. Because yes, he's amongst many brothers, but he truly is the only thing brought forth or begotten of the Most High. Right? It says, so going back to Hebrews 11, it says in 17, by faith Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac. And he that had received the promises offered up his only begotten son, of whom it was said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Listen to this. Accounting. So this is why he was so willing to offer up Isaac. It says, accounting that the Most High was able to raise him up even from the dead, from whence also he received him in a figure, man. Just as the Most High gave Abraham Isaac, Well, Abraham believed, well, look, if I sacrifice my son for the Lord, he can raise him up again and give him back to me, man. Let's read it again. It says, accounting that the Most High was able to raise him up even from the dead, just like he did Yahushua, because Isaac was Yahushua, man. We got that in Galatians. You know, why you think it said Yahushua told the wicked scribes and Pharisees, Abraham was glad to see my day. Why? Because he came from right, that son, man. Abraham was glad when Isaac came, man. That was the son of the promise. You know, just like go back in Genesis, it said the Lord told Abraham at the time of life, I will come back unto you. Well, that's what it was. Right. But the point was, it says, accounting that the Most High was able to raise him up even from the dead, from whence also he received him in a figure, man. And Isaac ultimately did get raised up. And that's Yahushua, man. You know, that's when Yahushua got rose up. Let me snag this and I end it. You see, because, hey, not just Abraham believed in the resurrection, but also King David believed in the resurrection, man. Right? Let me get this in Acts real quick. That Peter, which was, you know, something Peter said. He was quoting King David. This is Acts 2. And I'm going to jump down straight to the point. This is Peter speaking. It says, verse 29, men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David, that he is both dead and buried, and his sepulchre is with us unto this day. Therefore, being a prophet, so King David prophesied about something that was going to happen in the future. And this is what it was. Therefore, being a prophet, knowing that the Most High has sworn with an oath to him that of the fruit of his loins, according to the flesh, he would raise up the anointed to sit on his throne. He, seeing this before, spake of the resurrection of Mashiach, that his soul was not left in hell, neither his flesh did see corruption. You see, so King David believed in that. He believed, well, it said, being a prophet, he's seeing before. I don't know if he got a vision or how it was that he knew Yahushua was going to get raised up, but it said it right here. Because he was, and again, when King David said this in Psalm 16, I believe, that's why Peter said, well, look, David sepulchre with us today. He wasn't talking about himself being rose up. Right? So who was he talking about? That's why he said, he seeing this before, spake of the resurrection of Mashiach, that his soul was not left in hell in the grave, neither his flesh did see corruption. This Yahushua, the Most High, raised up, wherefore we are all witnesses, man. You see? So our forefathers believed in the resurrection, man. Right? You got people today talking about they don't believe in Yahushua. Come on, man. Right? Two of our greatest forefathers believed in that. You know, but I just wanted to go into a quick little lesson on that, man. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. By Hashem Yahushua, by Shem Chakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace and blessings to all you I came out there pushing this word with our truth and sincerity. With that, Shalom.